Let's start this video by talking about my engine. I brought back my rendering engine to life, and I optimized it. This is running at 30 FPS plus now. It is actually hard to believe at this point how efficient this already is. It's already efficient enough to give me high quality stuff to the screen, and I don't have to worry about it too much. And all of these are rotating, sizable objects. You can do whatever. It's great. I'm so glad that I brought it back, and I will use it for like particle generation on the screen. I'm gonna have cool effects without lag attached to it, and then put that shit on YouTube Rewind. Because if you have a lot of flying particles and you can program it nicely, I mean, what's stopping me from finally using those effects appropriately? Because up to this point, YouTube Rewind sucked over and over again. But that's why I say people are not ready for this. People are not ready for the amount of work that I put in pushing this rock by myself. Because they haven't fucking paid attention. They're waiting for the moment when it hits the floor and it shakes the whole room, basically. They're really waiting to see what I can do as one person. You know, reinvent Minecraft and take over YouTube Rewinds and the rest of YouTube potentially, because if I can do all those things, why not do more? And then release Influence Tracker 4. So everyone can enjoy an easy-ass engine that doesn't lag, doesn't load, and will always be updated with whatever features you like. Alright? Whatever games you like the most. We're all gonna democratically vote for something. And I'll probably be able to make it. In this episode, we haven't even started talking about the damn thing. We're talking about switches. Why would I care about this? Well, funny enough, that's the definition of a switch. To switch from one thing to the other thing. And potentially to get to the better version of something. Humanity is using polygons to render graphics. And I am appalled by this decision. So I'll just say no. Don't do that. Don't do polygons anymore. Do my thing instead. And see how it works. You know? Maybe I'll change the world. Maybe we actually go forward. I've seen this like infinite detail engine, right? Which literally inspired this path. It was a long-ass path to get my rendering engine going. Because right now it's still tiny in comparison to the bloated and overused polygon bullshit that people did. But mostly people slowly understand that it's just annoying to work all these meshes. Like, one of the most craziest things... Hello, ReactBot. You have one job right now. You are not efficient. You lag my computer. You're a really bad person. What do you have to say for yourself? You know, you have to be replaced, right, by something less fucking laggy. And the reason why it's laggy is because it's made out of all these tiny polygons. Now, it gives good quality, technically. It gives the smoothness effect. I'm not sure what my engine can do in retaliation to that, but you can see that it's laggy as fuck.
This is peak.
Yeah, this is peak on my computer. And, this happens. And it's like, what the fuck is this? What is happening here? My computer lags after I close the damn thing. As if it was eating RAM this whole time or something. I don't know, man. And it has to dispose tons of RAM. I don't know, man. ReactBot is just not efficiently made, And it hurts my brain to understand that we could do so much better. And I am the one pushing the needle, pushing humanity forward. I wish people cared more, okay? And maybe they only care at the right time when it's truly polished. Something is truly polished, and now it's like easy to care. It's like butter caring about something. So yeah, I'm making the switch. I made the switch personally. All right, and this is one of the biggest switch of like I hate using polygons. There got to be something better, and I was questioning this for a long time until I did found it. I found an escape route. So that's one of the switch, but this is not what we're talking about. Okay, we're not talking about complicated things at all. And we are talking about Jack's films for some reason. For he possesses the light switch meme. Transition. Transition is so important. It is important to put a little bit of a space in between transitions. But it's just as important to shrink that space and speed up the process. You want to boil water, you want to cook something. Right now, using air fryer for me is amazing. Not only I can cook without worries that something is sticking to my pan. I have to look into the item being cooked and stir or whatever. Nah, bro. I just put it in. It cooks from all sides. And the transition is made twice. I put the food in, go back, and take the food out and eat the damn food, which would be additional transition to something else. Right? Our lives are made out of switches, switching from one thing to the other, from one activity to another, and we actually have hubs. We have points of interest across our homes, across our lives, of where we go and how we connect the dots. This can be improved significantly once you understand your points of interest, right? Just like I captured humanity's points of interest. Pretty big interest. And then I'm like, you like Minecraft, right? Why don't we go over here and make Minecraft efficient and make Minecraft a way of rendering? And now a competitive rendering engine is out very soon. I just need to market it during YouTube Rewind. It's gonna be fucking insane. You don't understand. Of course, I'm gonna mix two things together. Like this is already 2D rendering, so I can already have both layers of that. Uh, I'm not sure if I can mix them though. Mix layers. I guess I can. I can put one on top and one in the back. It would be a little bit awkward though, but we'll see. I'm still yet to make rendering engine more efficient and more efficient. But I also want other people to step in for fucking once, right? And help me out on this one. I'm not sure when and how that fucking happens. Because holy shit, I feel like nobody exists. Neither women exist nor friends exist. It's like fucking bleak. Or bare minimum. Switching. Another switch that I am aware of is notifications. We're gonna put a list of things. Notification. Just the one we have right now. Except this notification means absolutely nothing. It's just cake. 1500. Sometimes a ding happens because of that. Notification. Eating food is a transition. Getting out of bed is a switch between sleeping and waking up into something. You still have to, after getting out of bed, you still have to do something. And it's a lot easier to be a Spider-Man and find a point of interest and just jump right in there. So maybe the best thing to do is get out of bed and start walking around. You will get tired, you will gravitate back to the bed, but, you know, as long as you're making transitions, you're not gonna spend time worrying that what you're doing is not good enough, that you shouldn't be laying in bed, but you don't have enough energy to get out. You have enough energy to get out. You just need to switch into something. All right? You have to get out of bed and do something. So the best thing to do is, like, I don't know, drink some water, which I don't recommend drinking water, by the way. I don't recommend, unless it's flavored. But I found a hack, basically. How about pickle juice? Yeah, pickle juice. There's all kinds of sources of flavor. Pickle juice is the easiest thing you can just pour into the water to not make it so disgusting. Because, like, plain water is absolutely trash. And I'm saying trash to your health. I'm betting on that. Because my throat always hurts. Every single time I drink one sip of fucking plain water, my throat hurts so bad. If I drink anything, even pickle juice water, simple. My life is simple. I'm ballin', bro. And it makes sense that you should not live a flavorless life. You should always worry that your water has flavor, and you have water, and your food tastes nice. You know? You can always eat shit food. Maybe it's cheap, maybe it's easy access to shit food, but everyone wants to make it taste good, so why can't you give water a taste, right? It should be your priority, and you'll be healthier and healthier and happier anytime you make improvements like that. Uh, anyways, it is hard for people to believe that water is somehow toxic. It is toxic. Toxic when it's fucking low quality. Yeah. Anything low quality is toxic, anyways. What else do we do? Fucking watch TikTok. Or rest. You know, resting phase. We have the fidgeting. We should not forget about that. There's a lot of points of interest. It could be gaming, right? It could be how you do resting. So now comes the more interesting part of how to improve these switches and what is my mindset towards them already. When you receive notification, unfortunately, you have to build courage to check that shit out because nothing bad can possibly happen. Most people are born not able to look at notifications, they're scared. All right, whether someone knocks on their door, you get a call, you get a text message, you name it. Any notification that is like person to person connection, it is scary. But there's no escape from that. You just gotta take it. Take the hit. It doesn't hurt that much. You have the obligation to care of whoever cares about you. Mostly people don't give a fuck, so don't worry about it. Just receive the notification and move on with your life. You can always hang up, you know? You can always close the call when you feel uncomfortable. You don't have to sit through the whole fucking thing. And I've done that many times. You can always raise your voice, say that you're uncomfortable, say you're quitting this. Whatever's going on, I'm quitting. Alright, bye. Bye, I'm blocking you right now. I'm muting you. You have the power. But you don't have the power of fucking ignorance. Alright, and being scared. Because that way you didn't just hang up. You didn't even fucking pick up the call. You gave the other person no chance whatsoever just because you're scared, just because you're uncomfortable, just because you give enough excuses to yourself. You're trying to explain away that this is not important for you, and it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You already understand now that switching your attention is a hard business, but again, it's based on principles. People have to tell you to do better just based on this thing. There's another thing that we're going to talk about is work. How do you work so hard? So you get a notification. For me, I reply to everyone. I care about everyone who cares about me for now. I'm not sure how things going to change. Because it fucking sucks. I mean, sometimes now I have to block a person without even talking to them, without even trying, because I know they're fucking degenerates running around the internet, not getting the right consequences happen. So I've got to kick them in the balls and move on. So eating food, you obviously want to reduce the amount of time you're cooking food. Why make things complicated, right? Unless you want good tasting food, and that's a great achievement to go for. I personally never learned how to cook, so I don't recommend people learn stuff like that. Unless there's, again, a go-to recipe. Like, I don't read things. I don't learn these, like, tricks. So cooking for me is like a lot of learning and reading. I don't want to do that shit. I also don't have a good stove that just turns on itself and sets itself on fire, bro. I don't have it. I don't know how to boil water, guys. I know nothing except air fryer works and gives me the luxury of not worrying. Just click a few buttons and you have food. But as you're eating food, you also have to be prepared because you have to be in the resting phase. You're eating food, you always have to do that, but you can eat food and watch a movie. You can do something while you can watch something or listen to someone. This is more of a multitask and not actually a switch. So let me think of what it takes to switch into eating food faster and better. I already talked about having a plate. Having a plate of food near you. So you always have something to chew on. That makes things more efficient, right? Then you don't have to switch anything. You don't have to do eating food as a switch. You can actually eliminate that. Maybe you can eliminate one meal a day just by having some food next to you. An apple, sandwiches, you name it. Whatever you can put on a plate and eat with your hands. Fucking bacon. Bacon strips. Now, as I say that, I personally still don't have a fucking plate. But guess what? I'll do it. I'll make a plate. And it's easy. It's a lot easier than going to the kitchen because your mind is short circuiting and keep on switching of like, I need some food, and you go to the kitchen and you grab a bite and you come back. And it's the worst switch ever, bro. Yeah, I would call it short circuit. Because all of a sudden, you go to the kitchen, you come back, you go to the kitchen again, and all of a sudden you're short circuiting a habit that you're not supposed to have. Everything is supposed to be deterministic, of like, if you go somewhere, you're going to do a lot of work. You're going to be productive when you go over there. You can't just make switches left and right, not making much progress. Everything has to be progressive and trans. Fucking trans. Pick one of those put it on a plate, and now I have it. I have a snack, and it will make me feel better, because my mouth feels like shit all the time, unfortunately. Even though I put flavor in the water, there's still something missing, you know? We're still pushing that journey of self-improvement. There's many things I can do. Pretty sure about that. Remember what I said, when it comes to sex, you gotta be super quick. Dive in and dive out. Or rather, bounce really fast. And sometimes you're gonna, well, for me personally, I might be unsuccessful in being fast. But I'm definitely not watching 5 porn movies in a row to satisfy my needs. And you can still build up to that, right? Continuing improving and establish points of interest in sexual ways too, right? And you have to have multiple outs in case one of them doesn't work. So what is that? Eating food over now? We're done? Microwave is crazy good. Just popping in a sandwich. Popping in. Just having sandwiches in general is the easiest life hack. Just tea and sandwich. Like it's this simplest food ever. If you know how to cook, you can cook quite a big amount of food. All right, and then dealing with sandwiches is baby game. I understand that, but it's a pretty good life hack. It's a pretty good place to start for any underage person, so to speak. Now, what kind of complications can you have trying to switch into eating food? When are you hungry or something? How can you tell? If you're not eating food, you're gonna be hungry, unfortunately. You're gonna be hungry throughout the day all the time. Is the most annoying thing ever, but you're always hungry. There's no such thing as not being hungry, unfortunately. I'm thirsty and hungry all the time. So you eat whenever it's convenient or you're really hungry, right? Whenever it's convenient. When you're really hungry, you really have to go. When it's convenient, you gotta go because you know what you want. You really want something, you go eat it. There shouldn't be a friction in there. There shouldn't be too much thought. This is why there are people just going into the kitchen back and forth. They can't help themselves, and it's completely fine. Is the preferred thing. I just want people to be more productive when they do go to the kitchen. They grab many things. They drink a whole fucking cup of water that's flavored with something, anything. You can make flavors out of anything, and it should open your mind of like, wow, I can literally drink anything. Yes, I have olives. I have, yeah, that's not it. No, that's still not it. Pickled, yeah. Does that even make sense? Nope, not really. Is the green one though? I don't know. What the fuck is this? Why is it red? What happened to you guys? Anyways, pickle, this one. There you go. So basically, you can drink anything, you can eat many things, I hope. You can find many things to eat. It shouldn't be difficult. And it should be a good time going to kitchen. And you can take plate with you. You can do takeaway for yourself. Take a snack. I kind of hinted of how to get out of bed successfully, right? And one thing no fappers know very well, masturbation makes you sleepy. So it's like a natural trend. I don't know what to do with women though. I don't know advice for women how to go to sleep faster. They should be talking in the comments and explaining what they do, and because for me, this is the only fucking way out. You know, put a gun to my head and just poof. That's the way I go off. You know, because that shit feels efficient as hell. All right. Sometimes a switch has to happen because you need a vehicle to make the switch happen, right? You need a little bit of a push, nitro boost to get into the bed because we're talking about both in and out of bed. Bam, fixed it. So to go in, you have to exhaust yourself pretty much, right? Maybe it's for women, it's doom scrolling until they fall asleep. For my mom, it's taking medication, which is another one of those weird ways, but I guess it works. You know, I guess it drains your energy if it's made out of poison, pure poison. You have to drink poison. You can eat a lot of food before sleep, I imagine, in order to go to sleep. You can watch a movie. A movie's gonna make you really sleepy. That's a really helpful thing, right? Put yourself on the track of doing something in bed, and here you go. You can maybe do exercise. I never found exercise to be doable before sleep. Like, what the fuck? Maybe you can do it. Maybe you can walk around 2 kilometers, come back, then you're sleepy now. Maybe some people get drunk and they fall asleep. I mean, there's some excessive ways to do it. So let me know in the comments. Share your fucking progress because I think it's the most colorful thing to ask for. Everyone has their own solutions to it. Now, people have extra solutions going to sleep, and it's called lucid dreaming. People talk about lucid dreaming, and I don't do lucid dreaming, unfortunately. I have no idea how to fucking do it. I don't even know if I want to do it, because we're supposed to feed the demon, not ourselves with dreams. Our demon has to be so fucking happy that it summons people that we like and not nightmares. You know, you can choose based on how stressed you are to summon good things or bad things. And normally I just show up with to look at my classmates, whatever my classmates are up to. That's all I know, guys. I grew up in school and then I got left alone by the universe basically, and it's like, what the fuck do I do now? No lucid dreaming, guys. Tips from me. But I do get to dream about celebrities because that's the only thing I stare at. So, and I believe that they are real people. I feel the reality about them. All right, I fantasize about them, and I respect them as real people, not just like rich assholes. So yeah, I give them a little bit of lore in my brain, not just for the sake of drama. Getting out of bed should be a fairly smooth transition, except with alarm clocks. Just like lucid dreaming, I don't know what you do with alarm clocks. All right, they definitely kill people. All right, alarm clocks are fucking murderers. And anyone who asks you to wake up at 6 a.m. or just to go to job, I mean, you're sometimes not gonna have the mood to wake up at 6 a.m. Go to school, go to job, like what the fuck is going on there? If you pick up a natural rhythm of waking up, that's wonderful news. But waking up is always a tough challenge because there's inertia required. It's a slow progress, and you want to do it fast. But if you do it with an alarm clock, you're gonna fail. He's supposed to just try to wake up, walk around, go to sleep again, try to wake up again. Maybe this time it's gonna work. It's one of those crank spark moments. All right, so there's so many startups basically. Okay, it didn't work this time. You spark again, spark again, spark again, spark again, and then you woke up 5 hours too fucking late. That's fine. Fuck it, you know? If people actually force you to try and spark from the first fucking uh alarm set or whatever, like, what do you think is gonna happen? Technically, it's best to make your alarm go off like every 30 minutes or whatever. Maybe every 10 minutes. You experiment with this, alright? But you have to basically do this. Try to wake up. Genuinely try to wake up and just walk around and just think of like what you're gonna do throughout the day. And if you fall asleep, you fall asleep. Try 10 minutes later or 20 minutes later. Walk around again. And see if it clicks into place. If you don't want to just go back to the dream world because you fucking left something. If your demon is not dragging you down. Because again, demon wants you to sleep. Demon wants you to do whatever the fuck you want, because in the dream world you can do whatever you want, right? But reality also calls of like, this is where most people are. In the dream world, there's not a lot of people. But in reality, you can do quite a lot of cool things. Alright, next thing. Next. Watching TikTok, let's go. We have less and less things. For me, work is two things, by the way. Making a video. We're gonna talk about that. Where are we? We're halfway there, huh? So how to click record is the question. And then doing programming, because that's its own beast. Alright. Watching content. Not just TikTok, I'm just trying to trigger some people who are YouTube obsessed. And unfortunately, we are on YouTube already. There's only two places where I take content besides trying to watch movies illegally. Who do I pay for to watch movies? Are you kidding me? I don't know. Nobody knows anymore. Subscription models have taken over the world and ruined it forever. We'll never know how to watch movies legally. That's not possible. I don't think. That shit is long gone. So, watching TikTok's pretty fine. There's a lot of things to learn. But now the question is, another switch of like, how the fuck do I know when to get out? Because you're doom scrolling deeper and deeper. How do you know to get out? When is that moment? You can't set an alarm for this. You just have to know. This is so sad, my friends. You just have to know. This is your problem. You can do 3-strike system. You feel uncomfortable 3 times, and you have to snap out of it. All right? Snap out of it. You're gonna question yourself when you're skipping TikToks a bunch, scrolling down really fast. You're gonna question yourself when the quality is low, right? You're gonna question yourself when you have better things to do. The 3-strike system should work just fine. When all these things are combined, you probably want to just get out, and you should feel uncomfortable in general. Scrolling down and down and down. Scrolling down your life and giving it to somebody else. Long gone are the days when vampires just want blood. They want eyeballs. What the fuck? They want a whole organ in there. Blood was just fine. They want eyeballs. They want you to look at them. Look how cool I am. Fuck you, dude. There are more. ways to know. They're the enemies. You know, there's the cringe. Uh, it's more like this, right? It's cringe moments. There's lack of variety, you know. You're thinking about something else of the what that you want to watch. Or you get inspired by one of these tiki-talkies, bro, to go somewhere else as well. You name it, alright? Eventually it should happen. And faster, right? Obviously, when these things start lining up and you're no longer resting in the resting phase, because your resting phase is also gonna clock out. Alright? Your resting is gonna be over. There's a lot of indications, and you just need 3 strikes to get out of a doom scroll. Alright? Get the fuck out of here. Alright. So we talked about fidgeting, but you have to revisit the subject if you haven't watched it. This is Max Stats 23 now. Way too many episodes. Even though this is how many ways you can improve yourself. It's fucking mental, dude. So fidgeting, we have figured, is a way to spend time, but it's a very fucking lazy, low-level way of spending time. Just doing nothing. Spinning a toy. Your brain basically shuts down. You don't want to do anything. Maybe you're overloaded mentally and you're stressed, genuinely. If you're stressed and you want to rest, like, you're going to end up fidgeting. If you cannot maintain a high performance, you're going to end up fidgeting. Now, you still have to question yourself, can you improve on this? All right? And can you not switch? Don't do that switch. Try not to do that switch. Don't do that. Stop yourself. Blockade. Put blockers from you trying to fidget. Put fidget into like a case. Put it on a fucking shelf of like, yes, I want to touch it so badly, but you don't do it. It's literally there. No, it's not a fidget. It's something else. But it's something you would want to touch. You know, it's a toy. It's a fidget. And it's like you almost like get to test other people of like, would they touch it? Would they touch this specific thing? How much they want to fidget. You can test other people's capacity to do powerful things, right? This is very interesting. You shouldn't switch. This so look at how switches work. Like, it's so fascinating to me. Some just dig deeper and ask you, when are you gonna switch back? This one you should never do. You should never take a F. F in the chat, by the way. Sometimes it's hard, and you spark your way to do something. You force yourself to do something. And you have to try multiple times until it starts rolling, basically. Sometimes you have to force yourself to finally feel like you finished the day, finished the job, and now you can go to sleep without any worries. So many ways to switch. So many switches in life to master, basically. We have 3 left. I have another switch that I do as I fucking worry. Because I want 1 hour of content. We have decided to do 55 minutes by now, but it's not guaranteed. And I worry that I always gonna miss some kind of piece. It actually happens only like 30% of the time when I feel like I truly missed something. I can genuinely move on. So when making a video, what has to happen, right? A bubble of ideas keeps growing. A question mark grows in my head of, I really want to do this. And now I have to accumulate slowly the focus. Because once I start the video, I have to start grabbing ideas of what I'll be talking about. You can see it in action, okay? You can see the whole progress. Once I click record, you can see the progress. Before I click record, I don't really do much. I just mentally prepare myself. I'm gonna improvise, I'm gonna say jokes basically on the spot. But hey. And then I push through whatever I have to do. Now, this is low energy. I still do low energy stuff because self-improvement is like really serious business. Unfortunately, this is not a laughing matter. I'm surrounded by nothing but myself, meaning that it's important for me to do my thing and expand my awareness and whatnot. It's amazing that self-improvement is a simple matter. It just takes awareness. You just need to put your mindset correctly in a correct direction. Do all the right things. And not follow what other people are doing. Making a video is a personal business, is whatever the fuck I want to do and how I want to do it. And it doesn't matter that my videos are too long or not descriptive or doesn't have cool visuals or whatever. Whatever people are missing, they're missing from within, not the outside. I'm not here to feed the humanity with the best content possible when I get nothing in return. Alright? So making a video is whatever you can do, whatever you can pull off in one day. This is what I suggest you guys. In one day, you have to pull it off in one day, because the moment you reset day, it gets that much harder. Yes, you can write a script. Yes, you can do all these complicated tasks. Because when it comes to making content, if it doesn't fit in one day format, it's gonna be 10 times more difficult to do. People say they worked 1 month. I don't believe that. I don't believe they worked 1 month. But sometimes they do come out with like a really good piece of content. You can't complain, right? Because it's their job. It's a different job. Making videos and socializing in general, it's a one-day thing. You prepare yourself mentally, mostly, that you're gonna do that. You commit, and you go through step by step. Whatever the other strategies you have. So making a video for me is more of a social thing than like actually a job. Some people treat it as a job, and they do have to spend 30 minutes cramming in every single frame with information. They need to fact check every single sentence they say. And that, my friends, is programming. Is different from making a video. We're going to talk about it. But first, let's finish this. So if you want to become an influencer, just like me, because you're going to become me first. You're not going to take me over. You're not going to get more than 300 subscribers in an instant. While you're just projecting your personality, your broken-ass personality. Unless you start doing programming, then you might. You might have better chances because you're investing more time and spending less of other people's time. Right? You're not just begging for attention, even though that's how socializing works. I beg for attention because we're supposed to talk to each other, right? It's the simplest thing, but capitalism really hates that. So you should force yourself to post on social media and all this stuff. And if you're a man, you post on social media not on your own profile, but on other people's profile. You poke people, basically. Poke this girl and that girl and that girl. Just keep poking with whatever the fuck you like. You can post whatever you like. You don't have to restrain yourself. There's no real consequence, but you gotta be more creative. The best way to pick up women is to be present with them, you know? And potentially annoy the shit out of them because they don't have the luxury of rejecting you. if they take that luxury, they will pay for it. Rejection is one of those things that women are toying around with, and they don't understand how much they will have to pay. A celebrity's not going to reject you, but they're not going to accept you either. Right? There's no risk. You can up the risk every single time you go down the ladder. If you rank yourself against C-listed celebrities who can reply to your comments, but they don't want to, you know? They don't want to. So, talking about commenting. And if something interesting happens, you should consider making a video and see if the interest continues. If interest sparks in other people who bump into your video. It is social media, and we're supposed to make it social, if possible. Still gonna be plagued by cool kids very soon, not just by rich kids. But it's still worth participating, no matter what happens. Right now, you're just gonna offend everyone and get rejected, but that's fine. You know, these are low-level people anyways. The high-level people are celebrities who cannot possibly reject you, which is great. There's a transition, right? There's something in the middle where a person will actually think twice before rejecting you, which is exactly what you want. You want to remove low-level people from you, from your life, and find exact level person that questions just long enough that maybe it gives you a chance, you know? For me, that's the strategy. In one day, I try to make a video, and it should be in one day. It shouldn't be overextended, especially things like this where I'm just explaining the thought process of how to do things properly. Doing programming and resting, yay! Final 2 steps, guys. So programming for me is fairly engaging activity because it's hard. Alright, and you have a very specific goal in mind. It's hard to reach to that goal. It's a long journey. But because I told myself that I am progressing humanity forward, that is not just me switching every day, but every step of the way, I have a greater and greater chance to improve the rest of humanity, bro. And I'm like, yep, that's worth pursuing. That's worth making a life goal, basically, a lifelong journey. You can't just do programming. You can't just do a movie and not pretend that it's not going to be 100 sequels. It's going to be TV series that everyone watches. You have to have put maximum self-esteem into doing programming. Doing your work. You have to put everything in there. In terms of like, it's the long-term game. And anytime you have free time, it's beautiful to spend it here. Right? To spend all the rest of free time as much as you would dislike to, even if you feel alone and all that shit. This is where it goes. Doing work. Doing programming. That's it. This is the end game, guys. Alright? And the finale is just resting. Most of the time you're gonna spend resting. Right? Not just sleeping, but resting too. From everything. And for me, TikTok is, you know, the resting clock, the resting phase. I can also eat, it's like super multitask. For me, it's an actual extra switch between kind of working state and resting state because I have a stand-up PC setup, right? So how did it work out so far? I think it worked flawlessly because when you stand up, what happens? You can switch faster. You can just walk to the next room. You don't have to stand up from, take your ass off the fucking chair anymore. And then put the chair aside somehow. You have to step aside out of the chair. With that motion, aside. And we're not even talking about benefits of just exercising, because just standing up is an exercise, all right, for a period of time. It will make you rest longer. But if something makes you rest longer, it very likely has benefits, right? You want to naturally rest, but it has to be natural, right? Go. Go do things that make you rest, that make you tired. That is usually a good thing. Yep. Always be proud of finding things that make you tired, but also make you feel productive, that you didn't just waste time, right? With these two ingredients, I think you can make pretty good habits. And unfortunately, resting happens whenever it happens. You finish something, you feel tired, you recharge, you reset basically, and you think of what is the next thing you're going to be doing after you reset. And that's it. That is the whole lore of switching between points of interest. First honorable mention is traveling. And it's a honorable mention because I don't know what the fuck that is. I try to walk fast, and it's told that people who walk fast are gonna live longer. Because why the fuck would you be an NPC who walks slowly? You have no life purpose, clearly, and you stand out. Just like I stand out by walking fast. Well, NPCs stand out as a whole, as like losers who have nothing to offer and cannot intimidate you whatsoever, and just gonna talk about you anyways because you're the cool person walking fast, right? So travel fast. Travel as fast as you can. Fucking run if you can. If you have the self-esteem to run, it's time to run. There's no time to fucking wait. If you spend a lot of time traveling, like that is the most cutthroat thing that you have to go through for self-improvement. And always remember that you can always switch to just a satisfying thing on your screen. You don't necessarily have to travel somewhere to see what happens, you know? What the hell? I hate that people switch way too often. Alright, they don't linger in one place. There's too much anxiety going on. Boiling anxiety is how I see it. People can stick around in my Discord server, they cannot talk to me for prolonged periods of time to establish a friendship. Everything is just boiling anxiety. So, maybe when you're switching to things, add a little bit more commitment. I don't know. You don't have to do things the way everyone else is doing. Alright? You can make up your own mind. And this is one of those things that will actually wake you up. Because switching is all up to you. No amount of lucid dream advice is going to make you lucid dream. No amount of alarm clocks will make you wake up. It is up to you to set up proper principles. One more thing though, shower and hygiene in general. First of all, you can check your teeth, right? And check your mouth. Is everything fine? Yeah, okay. So I don't have to mouthwash. I don't have to mouthwash. How about the shower, right? Unfortunately, I don't take showers. That's a very unfortunate thing. I don't know how. You know? You know what I'm talking about is how? I just make sure that I'm cool. All right? There's cold water to keep me cool, so I clean my hands constantly. I clean my face constantly. I can't help myself. I have to do that now, especially when acne was attacking me. I explained this whole process, but you feel uncomfortable, and shower can make you more comfortable. So it's a switch you have to make. Always switch for more comfort. Don't worry about that part. Comfort will make you switch away from TikTok. Comfort will make you push for more productivity, to wake up faster, to go to sleep faster. Will push you. Because you'll feel more comfortable when you don't have to worry about this shit. When you have a solid strategy. You're going to be more comfortable when you're fast. When you can decide fast, do things fast, and you're always ready. One of the hardest things for me to switch to, unfortunately, is ask for help. That shit pisses me off. Alright? It is so difficult to establish a relationship, and then asking for help feels like they will stab me first, and then they might help me second. And that often happens. I ask, my mom can't help me, my neighbors can't help me, apartment leader can't help me. Anytime I ask for help on social media, they can't help me. I don't feel like my doctor can help me, because he's a fucking doctor, you know. He can prescribe you medication. Is that helpful? Nope. Asking for help is one of those things that is not a switch. It just simply does not exist. It's an actual meme. Luckily, my friend wants to help me, and there is a social center. There's specific services basically that are designed to help you in some kind of way. Especially if they're fresh. If they're new and fresh. And you can approach them in person, technically. I'm not sure. That is the hardest thing to switch to approach. It's just as difficult as sending 1,000 job applications and then trying to find a girlfriend. It's asking for help that really fucking stings. Alright? That really hurts. That makes me shiver even when I just need help in a grocery store to find something. Even that is hard to admit, of like, I can't find. Sometimes I just take it as a challenge of like, well, I can do it myself. I don't need to ask for help. This is the hardest thing. So it's a whole different topic potentially. So maybe just hard for me, I don't know. But as it stands, I think I talked about everything. Let me know if I missed anything. And let me know how you go to sleep. Rewind style, baby. Goodbye.